outdoors, but a wall behind you. You don't have to. Marie, just bring the screen down a little bit so I can see your at least your legs, because I've got a lot of ceiling going on at the moment where you are. So I've got the wall behind me, and then Oriana, you want to use the settee. I saw you've got a settee there. This is a chair. I use a yoga chair. You can use any chair. You can use a dining room chair. You can use a stool. You can use a settee. Go ahead and do whatever you feel like using, okay? Worry too much. If you have a yoga break, that would be great, but don't worry too much. I am going to do a lot of work on the chair this morning, and then we'll get involved with the break when I come back. And if you're back online in a couple of weeks, there's a lot of things you can do with the break and the block to really help you with your sacroiliac joint, and there's so much we can do, okay? It's a huge subject. So for now, put your hands on the chair, any chair. If you want to use your armchair, whatever you're using, so as long as you're holding your hands, so the palms hold from the outside, so the inner arms are open, so your chest is open. Chair is on the mat, as long as it's not going to slip off anywhere. Step back, and then have your feet wider than your hips. If you've got a yoga mat, go as wide as the yoga mat. So you hold the chair, and you press down with the heels of your hands, and you extend back. When you extend back, you can look at your feet here, right? You can see your feet. Please, please ensure that your outer heel is in line with your little toe. So your feet are straight. When your heels come in, sadly, the lower back can go in, and we don't want that to happen. So we don't want the heels to come in. We want the heels to always be in line with the little toes, or we want them out, okay? And then look forward. And see if you can roll the outer arms to the inner arms so the inner arms face the ceiling, and then take your chest back. Take your chest back. Off you go. Take your chest to your thighs. Take your gaze back. Take your eyes back. And look as if you're doing a downward facing dog, but you're not. It's higher up. If you can walk further back, you should, because then you have more space. Yeah, and have your feet again as wide as the mat. Create space for your spine. That's it. And think about, can I take my heart space, my heart, my chest to my thighs, not my head? Every now and then look forward, turn the upper inner arms to the ceiling, create space in your chest. That's it. Now lift the toes up. While you're there, you can look at your toes. Don't come forward, just go back, stay as you are. Lift your toes up. And notice how the toes help you engage your shins, your kneecaps, and how that energy goes up to your thigh bones, okay? Take a breath in. That's it, breathe in. Allow yourself to exhale. Now, you can breathe in through the mouth, exhale through the mouth. If you find it difficult to breathe in through your nose, exhale through your mouth, or eventually we want to do nasal breathing. Inhale nose, exhale nose. But for now, just try and exhale mouth, go right to the abdomen, soften the abdomen, and then lift the lower belly to the navel, connect to your spine, inhale, and slowly look forward and walk your feet forward and come up. Up you come. There you go. Okay, and then just stand. Stand in front of the chair. So your feet are hip width. Really thinking about, again, always checking. Invariably, the heels come in. We do not want the heels to come in. We do want to maintain the heels go out. Okay, just this is for everyone, but especially now that you talked about the sacroiliac, I want to give you something. When you stand in your day, and this is for everyone really, we don't do it, but in your day, at the kitchen, in working, supermarket, whatever you're doing, when you stand, especially when you've got a sacroiliac area issue, consciously, as long as you don't mind people commenting, it doesn't matter, you take the heels out more so the toes turn in. But don't do it the other way. Don't turn the toes in, because that's not good for the knees. When we stand straight, your hands are on your hips, we take the heels out. When you take your heels out, try it, take the heels out, and then press the outer heels. You get space here. This is very important, because in our day, you'll notice a lot of people walk around with the heels in. So they're walking around like this, they're standing like this, and there's a lot of this going on with the sacroiliac area, okay? And rather than even just stand with straight feet, or we've got one heel in, we've got a lot of things going on with the feet. So for you, for everyone that's doing this practice, every now and then, heels out, press the heels so you create space. Create space here. This will have an opportunity to open, right? Back to the chair, feet hip width. We're just going to go for a couple of standing strength twisting actions this morning. I've got the wall on my right side, if you wish to have the wall on your right side. The other option is, let me bring the chair. If you haven't got space to move the chair, you can goes closer to the wall. So the chair is close and personal up the wall. So I've got the wall on the right side. I put my right foot on the chair. Then you put your hands on the chair and you slip your left heel out. So it's in line with the little toe. Inhale, stand up. You've got one standing leg, one bent knee. Okay, please walk the foot into the middle of the chair so the knee is not over the ankle. So walk the foot further forward so you have a parallel, yes, or step the heel back, whatever works best for you. So press the standing leg heel, left heel, raise the left arm, put the right hand on the bent knee thigh, take a big breath there, root down with the left foot, grow with the left arm, keep that going, exhale. If you can lift the right arm, we'll lift the right arm as well, and look for standing strength on one foot, left foot, and just soften the abdomen through the right groin. Keep the palms open, keep stretching the fingers, release the shoulders, and lastly, a little rotation of the outer arm moving towards the inner arm, so the inner arm rotates towards your ear. Take an exhale, and very slowly, you don't have to lift the bent knee arm, you can release it, put the palm on the wall, and release the arms. Use the hand on the wall if you need to release the right foot and stand. And be still. And then we stand in mountain pose, extend the arms, stretch the fingers, close your eyes, breathe in. Just take note of any changes that you feel have occurred around the left hip and the right hip. And just check in with the awareness. If you can connect to your breath, it's very important to keep the abdomen soft and the throat soft, because we end up tightening either the throat and then it'll get to the abdomen. And then we're going to turn the chair the other way, or you're just going to go to the other side, or you just do the other leg. Because if you don't have room to move your chair, so you have your wall to the left, that's okay. You'll just stay as you are and you'll do the other side. Okay, checking in. Right foot standing, strong mountain pose, left foot on the wall, on the chair. So again, don't let the knee go past the foot, please. And we're looking for pressing the right heel. Think tailbone down, thigh back. Yeah, tailbone down. Can you walk your left foot a little further or else so you don't have the left foot any further on the chair? You know the lifted foot, the lifted bent knee foot further on the seat of the chair. So you have a nice square if possible. Okay, let's go. Standing leg arm up, that's the right arm. Left hand on the left thigh. Grow from the heel to the fingertips, palm facing inward. Breathe in. And then can you lift that left arm up? Both arms lifted. Looking for engagement through the kneecap on the standing leg and trying to connect. Easier to connect with the standing foot, obviously, than the lifted foot. You want to inhale as the arms go up, the shoulders go down, the arms rotate, so you keep the upper back open. And then exhale, release the arms. And release the foot, mountain pose. And just stand. And as you press your feet and just let the arms hang, observe. And then you put the hands on the chair again, hold the chair, step back to your maximum. Exhale, take the hips back. So again, we're looking at hips back, hands on the chair, and finding your space. Just getting the work of the legs in a bit, just there. Just move everything back. And from here, please can we have the feet hip width again. If you're really feeling tight in the lower back, you go a little wider always. There's no hard set rules. Ideally, feet hip width, hands in line with the shoulders, but listen to what the body is saying. You may need more space, go wider with the feet as long as the action of the feet are right. Give yourself an exhale. We're going to turn the right heel as you're looking at your feet, turn the right heel in a little bit. So it's just tiny bit in, so the foot's at an angle. Press the right heel into the floor, step the left foot forward in line with the chair leg. So you've got the left foot forward as a straight leg. Let you go, straight leg. Just be there. Now we've changed the position and the distance between the legs. The focus is lift the toes up. Don't lift the feet off the floor. Just curl the toes up and notice how you engage through the front shin and the back leg when the toes are lifted. And also we're lifting the arch because the arch drops. We want to try and maintain the arch, and then you can keep the toes lifted, or if you're able to release the toes, as long as you keep that impression of what the toes lifted has given you. You're going to be here. Put right hand in the middle of the chair, grow a little longer, bringing the right hip forward as you press the right heel, and your left palm on the lower back as you take your left hip back. Now look forward and think about, I want to take my chest down. So we're getting length through the lower back, the sacroiliac joint, the inner thighs back, and you're feeling a little shift through the left buttock and through the inner thighs going back. Quite active and quite a strong forward extension, because eventually we take both hands on the floor on either side of the left foot and we try and take the chest. You're not doing it today, don't do it today. I've changed the posture to higher, but the classical posture is you just carry on with the work, Oriana, just keep going back. Yeah. The classical posture will be hands on the floor, chest to the thighs, nose to the knee. But we're not going that because we're not going to disturb the space that we're trying to create here. And then take an inhale, both hands on the chair. The left foot goes back. Feet go where they were, extend back, take a breath in. Exhale. And now we'll turn the left heel in, look forward, right foot forward. And again, the right kneecap needs to go up. We all don't get that. We lift the toes off the floor and we'll focus on letting the toes come up to engage that right kneecap towards the thigh bone as we press the back heel. Okay, so try not to look down when we're working on the legs, look forward, because we want the armpit chest to open, rotating the outer arms to the inner arms. That's it. Think hips back, inner thighs back. Now, as we move on, the left hand on the chair presses, right palm gently on the lower back to say, well, we want this tailbone to tip down towards the heel as the chest comes forward, looking for space through the spine. Use the chair, use the opening through the back calf, front shin, inner thighs moving back as we bring the outer hips round. And then very slowly you can release the gaze and you can release the head down. So stabilize through the legs. It's a little bit of balance, but the chair is helping you stay in balance. When the hands go on the floor, we start losing balance. We'll take an exhale. That's it. Keep engaging through the legs. And then very slowly step the back foot in. And we're going to just hang. So now both feet, either hip width or in line with the hips. You're going to try and get your forearms on the chair, elbows on the chair, and release the head down. So this becomes a forward bend without using your lower back muscles. The chair is there. Can you tip yourself forward so you bring the weight to the front of the toes? And then land on the ball mount of your feet. And exhale, just let the head go. If it touches the chair, wonderful. If it doesn't, that's not what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is keep your legs straight. Oh, walk in a little more, please. Marie, where are you? Yeah, come all the way because we're doing a forward bend. Walk in a little more, Ella. Walk in a little more. Come forward. Step forward a bit more. Yeah, walk in because we want you to and ensure your feet are hip width. It's a forward bend. Kneecaps up, thigh bones up. Now you can rest your head on that support of yours and release the arms down. Let them hang. Let your arms hang, please. Let the arms go. There you go. There you go. Now come onto the top of your head, not your forehead. So, no, that's your forehead. Come onto the top of the head, the crown of the head. That's it. That's it. Hang. Now straighten the legs. Move it. That's it. Now breathe. Breathe into your back. See if you can lift the right kneecap up a little bit. Marie, I know. It looks like a slightly different leg from this angle to me. Both legs do different things. Yeah. And then very slowly, please bring yourself up. I'm not going to use the chair. I'll bring it to the front in a minute. So wide angle forward bend takes us to many, many standing poses. I just want to show you, I've got the wall behind me. I've gone wide. We go back to this understanding. I want you to rest your hips into the wall. Okay? I want you to rest the hips into the wall. If you don't have a wall, don't worry. But if you have a wall, if you rest your hips in the wall and the mat is in line with the wall, you can have your heels on the edge of the mat, the back of the mat. You need to go wider because you need to create space. You need to go wide. Use your mat. Have control. So if you take your arms out, ideally, the wrist is above the ankle. So if your wrist is not above the ankle, you want to go wider if you can. If not, don't worry, we work towards it because we're looking for space. Once you've done, hands on your hips. Now, when you've got your hands on your hips, these hip bones, in any standing position or any yoga postures we do, even in just life and whatever choice of practice you're doing, these hip bones tend to dip forward. And generally, our pelvic bowl region drops forward. We want to pick all this up and move the energy down the lower back so the tail goes down, right? So you want to consciously take your mind here to the hip bones, press the outer edges of your feet, and think to yourself, I want to lift my hip bones. I'm saying hip bones, it's easier because we can identify where they are, the pelvis up. As you lift them up, you want to take them up and in opposite directions that way. So left hip bone to the left, right hip bone to the right. It engages your arches if we're doing it correctly. It'll press the outer heels down because the energy is not dropping, it's coming up. The tailbone's going down, okay? So I'm going to come off the wall. That was just to help anyone that needs the wall. I'm standing, just standing free here. You keep that going. It's hard to keep it going when we bring the chest down. So we do it halfway. Hard to keep it going. So take a moment, stop now. Bring your chair back because I don't want you to topple over. Because when you have your chair, your stool, your support, you don't have to. I'm giving you an option. If you have your chair, or your stool or your support, you can have no fear of coming forward. You're not going to topple over. You're going to work those legs. Right? So if you put your forearms on the chair, you can now focus on just the legs because the legs are half your body. They're going to take care of the lower region. The arms are going to take care of the upper. We want to soften the abdomen So we can stop gripping, holding, tensing around there. Keep pressing the outer heels. Keep lifting the hip bones up. Now notice when you lift the pelvis hip bone area up, the inner thighs wake up. Where we can lift the inner thighs up, we can move the upper inner thighs away from each other to create space around the buttocks, invariably through the glutes and through the lower back. Wherever you are, find a happy place, take a breath in, give yourself an exhale, keep the awareness on the outer heels, keep moving the energy up through the kneecaps. Think, can I lift my inner ankles up to my inner knees to my inner groins, and my upper inner thighs away from one another. Take a breath in, exhale, legs going up, side body coming down, head hanging. Press your feet, hands on your chair. Inhale, please come up slowly. And then heel toe in. Okay, so it's gentle. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe in. And once you bring your feet back to hip width, simply hang. Go back into your forward fold. Put your forearms on the chair or your support. Let the head rest or simply hang. There you go. And then from here, please press your feet. Bend your knees to come up. Don't put pressure on your spine and come up. Let's take the chair away. Let's move into, we'll do one more, Marie, because I know you said you have to go on time. I want you to just think about downward facing dog, obviously a yoga pose that's known by everyone. It has many aspects to it. I just want to give you a few cues so you know where you're going. You will then do the whole practice off the floor. We just did a little bit on the chair. You come onto your hands and knees. You have your knees underneath your hips. You curl the toes under. Now, look at your palms, very important. Separate the fingers and take the weight underneath the knuckles. So when you press underneath the knuckles, you come off the wrists, please. Then you press the area between the thumb and the index finger so you connect, and the energy goes from here to the little finger. Extend all the way up to the armpit chest, which is all the way up to the armpits, and roll the outer arms towards the inner arms so you begin to open the upper back. You have to get that rotation in the arms. Look forward, lift the lower belly up so the tail tucks towards the heels. Press the palms, slight knee bend, taking you up. Don't come forward, knees going up, hips going up. Think about what we just did with the inner thighs. Press through the knuckles, extend the arms. Think rotation, outer arms to inner arms. Gaze back, don't just drop your head. Look at your feet, knees are still bent. Lift the heels up, lift the knees up, lift the thigh bones up, and now move everything back. So as you move everything back through the legs, the chest goes back. Well done. If you lift the heels higher, the tail goes higher, the chest goes further back. Try not to shorten the distance between the hands and the feet, because it is the ultimate spine lengthening pose. So try and get equidistant. People have a tendency of bringing the heels, the feet in and shortening the distance. You want to walk back and only be wider than the hips if you need to. Otherwise, feet hip width. Take a breath in. Give yourself an exhale. And very slowly, looking forward, bring your knees on the floor. As you bring your knees on the floor, you're back to 4-point kneeling. Stretch the shoulders, release the arms, the right forearm on the floor, palm facing down. The left fingertips forward and resting your forehead on the right forearm and soften the upper back. And once you're there, you can release the left palm on the floor. Just let the shoulders soften. The shoulder blades melt towards the ground. Soften the belly. Take an exhale. One more breath in. One more breath out. Wonderful. Walk the left hand back. Press the floor. Come up. On all fours again. We'll take the left forearm horizontal on the floor. Right hand forward. Exhale. And again, forehead. Soften. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften through the abdomen. Really allow your back chest to soften. And very slowly bringing yourself up on all fours. If you have another minute or two, Riella, just lie on your back and just do a simple, very simple turn with your lower back. Okay, otherwise we carry on. Lie on your back, we bring the feet hip width, and you lie. Just leave your feet hip width. Want you to press your feet and feel how the tail can go forward. Do that again. Press your feet, tail forward, lower belly to navel. Feet come together, we touch. Knees touch, exhale. Right knee crosses over left, including your thighs, arms out in line with the shoulders. Now, no, not the ankle, the knee, the whole knee. Cross the knee and the thigh, please. Don't do a square, there are no gaps. Cross, really connect. Squeeze those thighs, these are eagle legs. Now, the right one's gone over. I want you to press your left foot and move the hips to the right. Shift them. Press the left foot and shift. No, please don't drop the knees. Come back. No, don't drop the knees. Come back. Press the left foot. Physically lift the hips up and move the hips to the right. Yes, you physically lift the hips up and move the hips to the right. Now you drop the knees to the left. Off you go. So you get a very spacious release in the lower back. That's it. Keep the chest in the middle. Keep your head in the middle. Keep your gaze soft at the ceiling. So you've got this release through your entire lower back. So with that shift, we create a little more space for the lower back. It goes into the mid back, and also you get a little release around the hip and maybe the glute outer leg. One more exhale. Try and soften the belly every time you exhale. Nip through the lower belly to the spine. Use the organic connection of the abdomen to come up. A little bit of use on the, now we're on the side, remember? You first uncross, press both feet, nip the pelvis back in the middle. Adjust the back if it shifted. So you get yourself back in the middle, arms out, take a moment. Exhale. Feet together, knees together. Left knee over right. Squeeze those thighs, cross swell. Exhale. So you press the right foot, press, lift the pelvis off the floor, shift the hips to the left. Lovely. And now let that bind drop to the right. Let the whole bind drop to the right. That's it. Try and keep that left shoulder arm down. And just gently softening abdomen, ribs. Let the weight of the bind release through the left side, the ribs, towards your mid-back. Try not to hold the throat, tense, soften on the exhale. And again, using the connection of the abdomen, see if you can connect there. Use your foot a little and come up. Unwind. And then again, press the feet back in the middle. And then just bring the soles of the feet together. So we go into what we call bound angle. So you let the knees drop out. Soles of the feet touch. Let the knees just drop outward. It's like a butterfly. That's it. Press the outer edges of your feet. We want the knees, the outer knees to drop out. Inhale, arms up. As the shoulders come down, arms go overhead, hold the elbows. Elbows go overhead, press the outer edges of the feet. Take a breath all the way into the elbows. Maintain that opening exhale. Soften through the ribs, the abdomen. We're trying to press the feet so the knees and the thighs don't fly up. Bring those elbows back. Extend the arms, shoulders down, and let's hold the elbows the other way. And again, inhale overhead. And exhale through the sides, the abdomen. Hopefully you can access your pelvis around the hip. And then very slowly again, releasing, bringing the elbows back. Gently use your palms to bring the outer thighs up to the inner thighs. That's it. Tuck your tail forward. Physically pick it up and move it forward so you're right on the tailbone. Left thigh comes to chest, just gentle connection of your palms on the back of the thigh, not the shin. Back of the thigh, so it's gentle. Draw that into your chest. Exhale. Soften through the abdomen. Release the left foot. Right thigh gently comes to the chest. Palms behind the thigh. Gentle, gentle. Don't lift the tailbone off the floor. Otherwise, we're going to lose the length we're looking for. Gently just draw it close without force, just feeling more than doing at this point. And releasing. Take your feet as wide as the mat, walk them a little further away from you, and let your inner knees gently touch together. So the feet are wide, the feet are in line with your mat, the inner knees are touching. Leave your palms on your body. Keep your neck long, close your eyes. Exhale. Take your awareness towards the abdomen. Allow the tailbone to get heavy. Gently pressing your feet, perhaps sliding back, adjusting the body. Exhale through your mouth so you can connect to the belly. If you feel rested, your back is happy, there's no tension, nothing shifting around that's uncomfortable, you can gently separate the knees and extend the legs and stretch into the heels and release the feet. The arms leave the body, the back of the hands on the floor. You gently close your eyes and take a few minutes here in Shavasana, corpse pose. And the awareness stays on the abdomen, so you're watching in awareness with attention on the breathing, and just come away from your thinking, analyzing mind. So Marie, if you're there, I know you're there, you're still on. If you can stay, just stay and just be in touch with your breathing. Take a few moments, you're in your lovely space there. So take time with your breathing. And when you're ready in your own time to come up, you bend your knees and you always roll to the right and you bring yourself up. Thank you for coming on. Have a wonderful day ahead of you. Oh, don't rush up. Take your time. Take your time. Take care. Namaste. And see you in a couple of weeks. Have a wonderful day. Bye.